Hey guys, what's going on? Happy New Year for me at the Dividend Journey here. So really just want to kick this year off and tell you guys how I did in 2018 in terms of my dividend income and also my YouTube income that I made from recording these videos for you guys. So like I always generally try to kick it off as about $153,000 in the portfolio at the moment. What's on the screen at the moment on the left-hand side is the weightage, or the weight percent of the portfolio, so the total value of what's in the portfolio by sector. And then on the right-hand side, it's more the income by sector. Still a very large percentage in energy stocks, but I'm trying to diversify out of that. So other things are starting to grow. Did some recent investment in information technology, so while my income won't grow from that much because it was Google, the total value of the portfolio in that part would grow. So I'm almost up to 10% there. Sold out of a few things to consolidate into things with higher dividend paying. Some of the stocks were a little bit higher in the capital gains piece, and I thought some of them had better value. So I think one of them specifically was Union Pacific was well up, and then Hershey was up. But at the time, I figured that those were still relatively higher before some of the sell-offs that happened recently. So I think I redeployed that into AT&T, which is taking a pretty big dive at the moment. And the yield is almost at 8%. So you can see pretty decent holding in Verizon and AT&T in telecommunications. So the income is about 10.5%, 9.5% weight percent. So anyway, doing pretty well. Real estate still almost a 1-for-1 at 17%, almost 18% in terms of income. So still need to round out the portfolio for some of the consumer discretionary stocks and some healthcare stocks as well. But I did buy some AbbVie as well. That was one of the other stocks that I initiated a small position in. And I had some in my computer shares account, which is no longer the transfer agent, so I got to figure out where those shares went. But I just bought, small 12% or 12 shares, which is good enough for, a pretty small bump up in the dividends. So in terms of where I'm at this year, so let me scroll down here. Actually, let me show you monthly first. So in terms of monthly, so in December I ended up with about $788 in dividends. I think I was forecasting somewhere closer to $900. I screwed something up, and I guess I didn't delete one of my previous investments that I invested out of. So apologies with that. But that ended up getting me about $5,600, almost $5,700 in dividends for full year 18, which is extremely awesome. As you can see, year over year, we're comparing the blue to the orange here, whereas the red is my forecast for 2019. So you can see in every single one of these months, I've produced more income in 2018 than I did in 2017. Another big accomplishment of mine is trying to even out the first 2 months of every quarter. I've gotten better at it. It used to be a lot more drastic, as you could tell in the blue for the first 2 quarters compared to for the first 2 months in the quarter compared to the last month of every quarter. But it's still pretty significantly weighed towards the last month in every quarter. So my March, June, September, December are all a lot higher paying higher paying months. Apologies. But I am trying to get it closer so that way I don't have these large, big income months. Not that it really matters to me at the moment because I'm not retired and I'm not living off the income, but I think it's just more of a mental sleep well at night, or swan as some people may call it, comfort thing for me, knowing that I have a consistent income every month. Because when I look at it, I generally look at it on a yearly basis, right? So like $5,600 came in this year, so it's just over or just under $500 a month, if that makes sense. So if you think about it that way, it would make sense that I would have close to $500 coming in every month. But in actuality, You know, I had $200 on average come in the first 2 months of the quarter, and then I'll have a big $600 or more income payment for the third month of every quarter, and then it averages out to, you know, $400, $500 over the quarter. So anyway, kind of going back to where I want to be. So if you look at 2018, we ended up just above the 6,000 mark if you include my YouTube income, which was just over $500, which is a great success for me. So I ended up just over, you know, $500 a month, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. So that's good enough for, and I'm sorry these numbers are really small. Let me zoom up here. But a 63% change year over year. So the past 2 years I was getting around 70%, but the volumes are getting pretty big now. So going from, you know, 3,400 to 5,600 is a pretty large jump. It's about a change of from $289 a month on average to $470 a month on average. So I actually had a bigger dollar change. Like last year, I only increased $120 a month. Compared to this year, I increased $180 a month, but I actually made less in percentage change, obviously, because I have more funds in the portfolio, if that makes sense. So even next year, I'm forecasting $126 at the moment without any further invested capital, and I'm only looking at a close to a 30% increase. So at the moment for 2019, I'm currently sitting around $7,200-ish, which is good for just under $600 a month, which I think is pretty phenomenal. But I think in my previous discussion, I had a goal of getting to almost $8,500, which is going to require quite a bit of additional capital. So that requires about a 50% year-over-year increase compared to last year. So going from 5,600 to 8,500 is a 50% increase. At the moment, because I've made some decent headway, I really only need to increase this income by 24% more, if that makes sense. So really, I just need to increase it by a quarter. But this $1,300 is going to require quite a bit of change, right? So you think about it. If I had the capital right now at a 4% dividend, right, I just put in the $33,000 right now, and by the end of the year, I could probably assume I'd get this $8,500 in income. But because I'm investing throughout the year, I'll probably end up having to invest more than that $3,300 because in the first couple months, you know, if I miss 2 quarters and I'm only able to get $33,000 in by middle of the year, that $33,000 is only going to be invested for the last 2 quarters. So I have to invest more than that $33,000 in order to get to this $8,500 goal. So I'm really probably will need to invest $50,000 to $60,000 this year in order to be able to meet this goal. Which will be pretty great. That'll put me over $200,000 in the portfolio. So that'll definitely, you know, be starting to up everything in terms of getting the ball rolling. But pretty daunting task, if you ask me. So very, very optimistic that I'll be able to meet it, but it is a large change year over year, and the numbers are getting pretty large. Then, of course, at the moment, my goal is $1,000 a month in 2020 as well. So, very interesting, very good results. I'm somewhat upset I wasn't going to get the 70% year-over-year change like I did the past 2 years. But like I said, I mean, I actually ended up creating more dividends this year than I did the past 2 years, almost combined, if that makes sense. So I guess you could say I really did a good job saving in 2018 and 2017, and things have been continuing forward, or the ball is really starting to roll on itself, and the dividends are really starting to pile in, that they're starting to compound on themselves. But even just looking next year, already up to $120 more than I was expecting than in 2018, and that's partially because a lot of the capital that I invested in 2018 that's finally going to have 4 quarters of investment rather than 1 or 2 quarters. So yeah, very exciting that I'm almost up to $600 a month. I'm $3 away, $2 21 cents to be exact. So if you actually incorporate my YouTube income, I'll be getting close to the $7,700 range. But at the moment, I'm only forecasting about $50 a month for YouTube. Don't want to be too aggressive with this. I've been sporadic, up and down. And then a lot of last year I didn't get paid because of the new partnership rules, and having to increase my subscriber count. But, I'm just happy that have people following and participating in the community that we're starting to build here. And it's just fun. I like making these videos, otherwise I wouldn't do them, But yeah, very exciting to see where we get to. I think I may have told some of you guys this already, but in terms of forward income, in my individual brokerage account, I'm over $1,000 a quarter, so almost $1,100 per quarter. So that, in combination with monthly contributions, I've decided to start pooling the dividends, which I have actually been having a lot of fun with. So I've been doing it for about 2 or 3 months now, where instead of automatically reinvesting or dripping, as some people might say, I've just been piling up dividends and getting a couple $100s here, a couple $100s there. And it's been a lot of fun because, when I automatically reinvest a couple hundred or maybe several $1,000s in a month, I just take the extra money that's been sitting there because of the dividends, and then I add it to whatever I was going to invest in anyway. So am I noticing a slowdown or anything like that? I'd say it's really too early to tell. But I'm having a lot more fun with it. Although part of the real fun with the automatic reinvestments is like every time I would log on to my Fidelity account or something like that, I would have to update my investments on my portfolio formatted page because something would have a dividend and something would have to be reinvested, right? So I don't have to update this as much. But that being said, my IRA and everything like that is still too low of a point to automatically or to pool up. So I'm almost at $1,400 a year in there. So hoping that with the additional contributions that I'll have in there in another month or so, that I'm able to get that up a couple $100s more, maybe another $200 or so. But yeah, that's really it. Really excited. Really would like to hear your guys' comments down below about did you think I'd make more in 2018? Did you think I would make less? Any advice for us or others? Any words of inspiration? Any comments on what kind of videos you guys want to watch? I can definitely listen to what you guys have to say and try to take your advice. A lot of the videos that I have made that aren't with respect to giving you monthly updates come from you guys, so appreciate you guys, giving me some insight on what you guys want to listen to. And a lot of those videos end up being my better watched videos because they more so pertain to, the basics and what we look for in terms of getting started. So appreciate you guys listening. My voice is a little hoarse because I've been battling a small cold. So if you've listened to me this time being like, what the hell is this wrong with this guy's voice? I appreciate you listening, and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense now. But hope you guys have a great, prosperous 2019. Be great, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.